Hello YouTubers and welcome to my channel. And yes, as the title says, I got rid of my adult acne in 3 days only. I have many things to say in that video, so I'm gonna start now. As a child, I had no issues with my skin. My skin was perfect. I started to have teenage acne around 11 to 12 years old, and it was really bad until 15 years old. During those years, my mom brought me to several dermatologists who prescribed me pretty much the same thing. They prescribed me topical treatment, so cleansers, moisturizers, and I used those exactly how they told me to do, but I never saw any improvement in my skin. Actually, I had the feeling that it was making my skin rust, but I trusted doctors, so I just followed what they told me to do. When I reached 15 years old, I decided that I didn't want to see any doctors anymore because they did not help me. So I bought my skincare products in drugstores. I bought brands like Neutrogena or Garnier. I didn't see any improvement in my skin, but it was cheaper. Between 15 to 18, my acne got a little bit better, and I think it's just because I was growing up. Now, when I turned around 19, 20 years old, my mom told me something. She also had issues with her skin during those years. Her issues was more related to hyperpigmentation. She also had seen many doctors who prescribed her things that did not work, until she saw one who told her that actually her skin was very, very sensitive and that she should be careful in which skincare products she used, and that she should avoid some ingredients. And that doctor advised her to look into French pharmacies because they have many brands who target sensitive skin. So my mom told me, you know what, maybe you have the same issues. And I went to French pharmacies and I bought products for sensitive skin with very simple ingredients. And I noticed a big difference in my skin. My skin was less hyperpigmented. I was seeing less acne, and my skin was also feeling so much more comfortable. And by doing that, I realized over the years, after that, that my skin break out if I use any product who has alcohol denat, a high level of perfume, salicylic acid. So actually, I realized that everything that was prescribed to me back when I was a teenager was actually making my acne rust, because in most products who target teenage acne, you have perfume, you have alcohol denat, and you have salicylic acid. And salicylic acid can be good, for people with acne, but my skin does not like it, and nobody tried to understand that. Nobody tried to see if my skin was allergic to something. Anyways, so around that time, I was only using products for sensitive skin that I would find in French pharmacies. And my acne was still there, but it was much better. Then when I turned 24, I moved outside France and I went living in the United States for several years. And within a few days there, my acne absolutely disappeared. My skin was completely clear and I was using the exact same products. So I didn't know what happened. My skin was perfect, and I was living in Kentucky, and then I also moved to Florida, and in both states my skin was absolutely clear. So at the time I thought it's because I'm growing up and I am a grown adult now, so I'm done with those issues. So it was so nice to have clear skin for the first time in so many years. But after some years in the United States, I came back to France, and within a couple of months, my acne came back. So I was really annoying because I thought I was done with it. And it was around 2010, and that's when I started to spend more time watching YouTube videos. And I came across two YouTubers who have videos about skincare. One of them is actually a dermatologist himself, and both were talking about the importance of exfoliating the skin, how it removes dead cells, how it helps reducing acne. So I thought, okay, I have to look into that. I was using scrubs at the time, but just once a week. So I heard about chemical exfoliant and scrub, so I decided to buy some and use them more regularly on my routine. And I did see an improvement in my skin. My skin loves to be exfoliated, and I was having less breakout thanks to this. And also during those past 5 years, from 2010 to 2015, I realized that my skin is also very sensitive to bacteria. So I did a few changes in my routine to prevent bacteria from touching my face, and I have a full video about that. I will link it below. I also decided to try some natural ingredients like witch hazel, but it made my skin feel super dry, although my skin is a combination oily. I also tried honey, which many people loves, but it break me out. I tried jojoba oil, argan oil, it broke me out as well. I also tried to drink more and more water, because many people say, oh, you just need to drink more water. I did for several months, did not change anything. I also stopped drinking milk for several months, because I know that for some people, milk causes acne. So I did that, but for my skin it did not change anything at all. So my skin was not bad at the time. On most days it was, I had a few pimples, small ones. On bad days, the pimples were a little bit bigger and I was having more, but still it was not bad acne, it was like mild adult acne. And you might think, oh, but what's your problem? It was not bad. But you have to understand, I've had acne since I was 12 years old. And I'm not a teenager anymore. I am 32 years old. So I had acne for pretty much 20 years in my life, except for those few years where I was living abroad. So even if it was just a few pimples, it was making me nuts. But after all those 5 years where I did some changes, I just came to a point that, you know what, this is my skin, I have acne prone skin, there's nothing I can do about it. Until May 2015. So last spring I went to my home country, which is Congo, for the very first time. And when I went there, I was having some of those bad days with my skin. So I was having some, pretty big, 2 or 3 big pimples. So I went there, and within a few days my pimples went away, which is normal for me because with my skincare routine, they go away pretty quick. But usually, if a pimple is going away, there is already a new pimple coming back. So I was never with a full clear skin. But when I went there, when my pimples were disappearing, there was no new pimple coming back. And within a few days, 3 days, I had absolutely no pimples on my face. And that was the first time in so many years. And I was like, this is weird. you know, my skin is absolutely clear. But I thought, you know what, it's just one day, maybe tomorrow I will see a new pimple coming back. But the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day, there was no new pimple coming back. And I told my mom, can you see that? My skin is absolutely clear. What is going on? I didn't do anything special. I'm using the same product. What is going on with my skin? I didn't know. I stayed there for 3 weeks. And except for those first 3 days, my skin was absolutely clear. And one day there was an electric shutdown, which happens a lot in any African countries. So we were supposed to go out and I was supposed to take my shower, and but there was no water because the water was coming thanks to the electricity. So my mom told me, you just have to take this bucket and go to the well and take the water. And you know, I grew up in the city. I was like, what? She said, that's how we do here. So I went, you know, with my bucket in the backyard, and there was a well, and I took the water from there and I took my shower. And then the next day I told my mom, so you mean that the water we use to take a shower in this house is coming from underground? And she said, yes. Congo is a country with a lot of water, a huge river, so there is water everywhere, and the clear water, it is still water in your garden. So I was like, okay. And then with my mom we talked, and she told me, you know what, I think your issues is actually coming from the water. It seems obvious that your skin loves the still water and can take the tap water. And I was like, so all those years where I was still looking for the reason why my skin was still breaking out, you mean that it was because of the water I was using every single day? I was like, that's possible. So when I came back to France, I decided to use still water. I bought my bottles just for my face. So I've been doing that since June of 2015, every single day, and my skin does not break out anymore. The only time my skin broke out during those past months was because I was using a new skincare product or a new makeup product that my skin doesn't like, and my skin as a reaction break out. But as soon as I stopped those new products, my skin went back clear. And then I realized, yes, my issues was with tap water. My skin is so sensitive that I break out if tap water touches my skin. If you've never had issues with your skin, you can't understand the frustration I've had for the past 20 years. I did this video because you might be in the same situation, and I also told you about the things that did not work for me because I know those things worked for other people, so it might work for you as well. Now, I'm very happy with my skin. I don't have any pimples anymore. My skin is also less oily. My texture is much better just because I only use still water on my skin. My skin is not perfect. I am 32 years old. If you are really interested in skincare, I have so many articles on my blog about that, so many. I will leave the link of all of them below so you can browse and pick the article that suits you the best. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.